Hey y'all, I'm Cass B and welcome back to my channel. So the holiday season is rapidly approaching, which means we get a teensy little break in the bridal season, and that means that I have time to actually design some super cute fits for the holiday festivities. The first on the roster is my fiance's holiday office Christmas party. So I wanted to design something that was a standout, that made me feel really glamorous, because it is a formal invitation, but isn't in your face. Sometimes custom design, formal wear can be that way, isn't immodest, right? But still made me feel sexy, having a good time, very feminine. So we decided to go with something that had this really very feminine neckline, very trendy silhouette, and then of course, I'm one of those people who likes any excuse to slap a bow on it, and the holiday season is the perfect time frame for that. So we're gonna put bows all around the neckline, front and back, and that is what I'm going to show you how to do today. So let's get started. Next up for today, let's go over our materials. This is a stretch red velvet. I actually have like a ton of yardage of this. I've had this for years. It's from a project where whenever I was originally starting out as a designer, I way overshot the amount of yardage that I needed. So I was honestly designing something where I was going to be repurposing fabric that I already had instead of buying something more. So we're going to use this for the bulk body of the dress as well. So if you haven't checked out my Instagram page, Cass B by Design is my handle, and that's where you're going to see the development of the entire dress come together. But of course, we're going to be making our bows out of this fabric again today as well. My suggestion is to get it from Fabric Wholesale Direct. It comes really quickly, customer service is great, and it's an awesome price point. So, red stretch velvet is what we're going to start with. And again, you heard me say that it's stretchy. So that the bows aren't really floppy, I want a little bit more structure. And so we're going to use this woven, cotton, Pellon fusible interfacing is what it is. Because I use this so often, I buy it from Wall Walk and I buy it in bulk. So if you get 25 yards, it comes in a whole bolt like this. But of course you could also get it from Amazon or wherever your favorite spot is. I even used to shop from Joann's. So without further ado, let's get to cutting. Okay everybody, so at this point we have all our pieces cut out. We have our bow front and back, and of course our two pieces of interfacing. We've got our bow center, our two pieces and our two pieces of interfacing, and then finally we cut this piece out twice so that we would have a total of 4 pieces front and back, and then we have our interfacing. So we're going to interface it next. We're going to take it to the iron and get those pieces fixed, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to pair each of them together, and we're going to start sewing. Okay, so at this point we have all our pieces interfaced. I used white cotton Pellon fusible interfacing, but obviously if you had used black, this would be black. So we're essentially just going to stick everything right sides together and then pin down the sides that we are going to stitch. For our little bow tails, you're going to stitch around this whole edge here, leaving this outer edge open so that you can turn it right side out. For our center tie, we're going to stitch down these edges, leaving both of these open. And then for our main bow, right sides together, we're going to be stitching along these lines, 1/2 inch seam allowance, similar to the tie, leaving these ends open, and I'll show you the next part. Alright, so when it comes to turning this one right side out, there's a little bit of a trick to it. You can see that I've really trimmed my corners very closely, also up into this midsection here. And so to really get it turned out very, very clean, or as clean as it can be for this style of fabric, I have 2 tools that I like to use. It really just depends on the fabric type. For this fabric and for most, I actually like using this plastic corner turner. You can see obviously that it's got this nice pointed tip so that you get this really crisp point. But this works really well too. So if you've got some really tricky fabrics, some really small knots, these both come from wall walk sewing, so these are two good options that they have. So we're just gonna turn this one right side out to where it looks like this as well. And then like I said, ultimately, they'll get kind of folded like this behind our bow, but already that's coming together really nicely. Okay, at this point we have all of our pieces actually made. Now it's time for assembly. Real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and stitch closed all of these outer edges. If this was for a client, I would usually stitch them closed and then also serge them, but this is not a fabric that really frays very much, so we're just gonna stitch them closed real quick and then assemble this. Also, just a pro tip, if you get annoyed with your bobbin running out quickly, as I think literally all seamstresses do, you can prolong it running out by following each stitch either with the next piece that you're going to sew, or you can make yourself like a little shoe. This is my little shoe. So basically, if I don't want this excess thread to trail off, I just allow it to continue and rest there, and it keeps your bobbin from running out super quickly. So, fun fact. Okay, so next up we're gonna start assembling our pieces. We're gonna take our biggest one first, which is this. I'm gonna stitch two of my edges together like this, just so that they stay in place. Raise my presser foot, sliding back my shoe. Now at this point, the interfacing makes it actually fairly dense, so I'm using an industrial sewing machine. So your tabletop will struggle a little bit with this part, but industrials handle it really well. So first we're gonna start with actually turning our main section of the bow into a bow. So if you're thinking, now it's a lot of bulk, a lot of fabric, you're exactly right. What we are gonna do is we're gonna take a needle and thread, and I have this quadrupled up, so this is 4 threads thick. I'm gonna just put it through both layers on one end. I'm going through the middle, obviously, and I'm gonna use this to kind of wrap around it. So I'm gonna pinch it together in a fashion that I think looks nice and kind of hold it as I tighten, still making sure it's fairly centered, looking good. And I'm just gonna go around a couple times. Okay. Go back on the top, back through. All right, so kind of here's what we're looking at, right? So you can fidget with it for a few minutes until you're happy with how it looks, but I'm fairly happy, so that looks good. Let's go ahead and tie a little knot there. So that's a really easy way to avoid having to like shove it through your machine, which it's not going to enjoy anyways. Here we go, give it a nice tug. Okay, and at this point we can now rethread it with a normal amount of thread. So here's our cute little bow. Now we're gonna actually start to assemble our pieces. If you think what comes next, it's gonna be this, right? It goes around like that, and then our pieces go here. How stinking cute is this? Okay, so you see we have this super cute little bow. It has a little bit of structure to it, so it's not super floppy. Obviously, if that's the aesthetic that you're going for, that's totally fine. All you would do is just not interface your pieces. I find that with stretchy fabric, it's actually kind of hard to sew that way. But again, this is exactly what I was going for. And so if you can imagine this neckline, so I've got it already kind of draped out on my dress form here using my marking tape, my draping tape. I also get that from Wall Walk Sewing. It's super helpful for outlining your construction lines, where your pattern pieces are gonna go. If you can imagine, we're gonna have bows, another one here, 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 all over the neckline, front and back. And just like that, that is the end of our bow tutorial for today. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'm so excited for this look to actually come together in real life. So I'll be working on this for the rest of the week. Again, if you have not checked out my Instagram page, go ahead and give that a follow so that you can see step by step the entire dress coming together. As always, thanks for watching. If you have any thoughts or comments, leave those in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about this, and I look forward to seeing you all next week.